Auschwitz. Auschwitz was one of the largest and most notorious Nazi concentration and extermination camps during World War II. It is located in southern Poland, near the town of Oświęcim, which is about 50 kilometers, 31 miles west of Krakow. The camp complex was established by Nazi Germany in 1940 and remained operational until 1945. It became the site of mass murder and extreme human suffering. Auschwitz was not a single camp but a complex of three major camps. Auschwitz I, the main camp, established in 1940, it originally housed Polish political prisoners. Over time, it expanded to hold Jews, Soviet POWs, Romani people, and others. It became infamous for its brutal conditions and use of gas chambers for executions. Auschwitz II-Birkenau. This was the largest of the three and the main site for the mass extermination of Jews and other victims. Built in 1941-1942, Birkenau had multiple gas chambers and crematoria. It is where most of the murders took place, primarily through the use of Zyklon B gas. Auschwitz III-Monowitz, also known as the Buna camp. This subcamp was established in 1942 to supply forced labor for the nearby IG Farben factory, which produced synthetic rubber and fuel for the Nazi war effort. Auschwitz was primarily a death camp for Jews, but it also targeted many other groups, including Jews. The camp was a central component of the Nazis' final solution, the plan to exterminate the Jewish population of Europe. About 1.1 million Jews were killed at Auschwitz, most of them in Birkenau. Poles. Many Polish citizens, including intellectuals, political leaders, and resistance members, were imprisoned and killed at Auschwitz. Roma, Gypsies. Tens of thousands of Romani people were murdered in Auschwitz as part of the Nazi policy of racial extermination. Soviet POWs. Thousands of Soviet prisoners of war were sent to Auschwitz, where they faced horrific conditions and mass executions. Disabled people. The Nazis also targeted the disabled, many of whom were sent to Auschwitz under the so-called euthanasia program. Others. Political dissidents, LGBTQ+ individuals, and anyone deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime were also victims of the camp. The primary method of mass murder at Auschwitz was gassing. Victims were often told they were going for a shower and then locked in gas chambers, where they were killed with Zyklon B gas. Afterward, the bodies were cremated in large furnaces. Shootings. Many prisoners were executed by gunfire. Medical experiments. Some prisoners were subjected to brutal medical experiments, often without any anesthesia. These experiments were performed by Nazi doctors, including Joseph Mengele, who became notorious for his cruel and inhumane practices. Starvation and forced labor. Prisoners were often worked to death in the camp's factories, or subjected to extreme hunger, disease, and physical abuse. Auschwitz was liberated by the Soviet Red Army on January 27, 1945. By that time, the Nazis had already begun to evacuate the camp and destroy evidence of the atrocities. Over 7,000 prisoners were still found at Auschwitz upon liberation, but many had already perished from starvation, disease, or abuse. After the war, Auschwitz became a symbol of the horrors of the Holocaust and Nazi genocide. The site was preserved as a museum and memorial in 1947 and now serves as a place of education, remembrance, and reflection. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and draws millions of visitors each year who come to learn about the atrocities committed there. Auschwitz stands as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred, racism, and totalitarianism, and it remains one of the most important sites of memory for the Holocaust. The International Holocaust Remembrance Day on January 27, the date of Auschwitz's liberation, serves as a reminder of the atrocities and the need to prevent such horrors from happening again.
For all my friends there, thank you very much for supporting me. And if you want, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? See you in my next content.